Have you ever heard of a car so feared, but so memed on at release, that people actually made a propaganda to curse people who rolled for it? Have you ever seen a car perform so bad in front of its manufacturer representatives in a multinational tournament that whoever used it handed the win to the server champion on a silver platter? Then, let me tell you why you should, or should have rolled again, for the reworked 1989 Nissan Skyline GT-R R32. Welcome to Why You Should, where it takes 3 other servers in one stage at Bangkok to see that a car named after a kaiju desperately needs a rework. Do note that whatever I say about the car doesn't reflect on its overall performance in its entirety with regards to performance in comparison to other vehicles in the game. If you're here because you've been shamed at for getting the car in its initial banner, or have seen the recently concluded Racing Master 2025 Cup, where it made small work of those who used it, making the final race of the event completely one-sided, and cry for justice for the same car that shamed other servers in the event, smash that like button, share this with your fellow RM drivers, and don't forget to subscribe so you never miss a pull ready pick. To distinguish between this and the old review, we shall refer to this as the R32 Kai. We've already talked about how well the R32 is in the other Why You Should video of it, so now, let's talk about the notoriety the R32 has gained in the RM community, particularly in SEA. In a word, bad. In 2 words, very bad. In the words of someone who has binge-watched Initial D or binge-read the manga cover to cover, including the illicit scenes of Takumi's first romantic interest, Nakazaru syndrome. The R32 was the most underwhelming car that came out of Racing Master SEA's lineup. With the intense pressure to supposedly be better than its younger manufacturer sibling, the Sylvia, the R32 has failed immensely to meet everyone's standards, which its Japanese server twin has brought joy to that community. With the only decent thing being its launch, and categorized as a supposed race car, meaning handling should be a breeze to use, the R32 was memed to hell and back. Though a small number of the community yearned for retribution, and it took an entire multinational event to have the car redone from the ground up, and redone it was, with actual results, unlike a certain AAA game company quoting the same thing only to be met with no new results. This R32, the R32 Kai, has lived up to its moniker and reputation, and to those who initially rolled for it, can now drive it with pride and laugh back at those who mocked them for getting it. Once underwhelming in SEA server a month ago, the rework brought JP server level handling, and it has since risen to a position where it can challenge the Sylvia S15 for meta supremacy. We won't be tackling the customization anymore, as there is nothing substantially new to add about the R32's customization, so we will immediately jump into the performance using the previous R32 run in the last video as our benchmark, alongside the run of the same map from the Japanese server, as most SEA players started out here than longer players who were in China or Taiwan server. When launched properly near the marker, the R32 Kai can now rival that of the Evo 3, with a real hyper launch. Unchanged was its super acceleration rate, but the acceleration cap has increased from 180 to 185 km per hour. It has amazing racing pedigree grip that deceleration already equates to braking. It also has a very strong contact to low angle green drift that almost all of the corners can be taken within its range alone in a single track. Absurdly strong grip and stability is the game the R32 Kai plays, and it can hold its line really well. It can easily handle drift runs with minimal braking. Though reworked to the brim, to the utmost respectable degree, the R32 still contains its natural weaknesses. The car has a tendency to stall at launch, but minimal in comparison to the likes of the RS7's more painful stall. It loses acceleration rate on the higher RPM area just like before, and a big dip of acceleration loss starting at Gear 4. You will incur large speed loss when drifting at red drift or high-angle drifts. It tends to oversteer at times during braking, though this may fall into the side of incorrect driver input than a natural weakness. The recommended tuning setup for the R32 GT-R Kai is 23232. With this, the benefits are very straightforward. It improves high RPM acceleration and top speed retention with heightened grip and very high stability. When driving the now reformed R32 Kai, here are some things that you need to know. You are to blend between deceleration and minimal braking when entering corners. Thus, you should always keep the R32 within green drift range. When launching, either hit just before the super perfect marker or just before the perfect launch limit marker past it. The former granting more consistent acceleration past hyperlaunch, while the latter loses a little acceleration before recovering it come Gear 3. The 1989 Skyline R32 Kai is proof that legends never die. They just get better with time. If you missed its early weaker form with whatever little gems you have on your account right now, you have every reason to regret it now. If you rolled for it post-rework, then congratulations. You are now holding one of the most reliable, grippy, and meta-worthy machines at this point in the game. But that's just my take. What car do you want to see me break down next? And if you rolled for the R32 before to get laughed at, only to laugh at them now for doubting your gacha choices, drop your experience in the comments. Help out the ones still in the fence or kicking themselves for skipping it. While you're here, hit like if this helped, share it with your crew, and subscribe so you don't miss the next one. This is Miyogi saying see you guys on the next roll.